one day I'll be an honest man. Up to now, I'm doing the best I can. Long roads, long days of sunrise to sunset, of sunrise to sunset. Dream on, brother, while you can. Dream on, sister, I hope you find the one.
Hi, welcome to my animation channel. In this video I will show you the blocking that I had done for my 11 Second Club September 2020 entry. So before diving into that, let's discuss about what blocking is. So before talking about what blocking is, let's understand what blocking is not. Blocking is not a crappy version of your final animation. It is only rough looking because you want to completely and quickly represent the complete idea that you have to show in the shot. Any person who doesn't know what the shot is about should be able to come and he or she should be able to understand what the meaning of the shot is. He may not understand why the character is doing something, but he should be able to tell that what he is doing. So blocking also doesn't mean that you leave out certain controls. In blocking you use all the controls that is needed in the final animation. So blocking doesn't mean that only the chest you rotate and the spines you leave out, or only the head you rotate, neck you leave out, or only the arms you rotate, fingers and wrist you leave out. No, that is not blocking. Blocking is complete representation of your idea, however many controls it takes. Another idea that some beginners have is that blocking should be always in step mode. If the animation is in step mode, it is blocking. No, that is wrong. Your blocking can be in spline, that is smooth mode. The only thing that you have to remember for blocking is that your idea should be clear. Anybody should be able to come and understand what the idea is. Always remember that a shot should generally have one idea, at most two, not more than that. So one shot, one idea. That is generally the golden rule that is followed. So if that one idea is getting cleared in your blocking, then your blocking is successful. Otherwise, your blocking is unsuccessful. So your idea should be to convey that meaning as simply as possible, and once you do it completely, your blocking is complete. Alright, so the second most important reason why you block is that you want to solve all the problems. Your animation has many problems, like how the I mean, of course, depending on the complexity of the shot, that how the person is stepping, where he is stepping, how the hand is moving, where it will touch at a particular point, where he will step at a particular moment. You know, all these things you have to solve. Then IK, FK switching, all these problems you have to solve. Then you have to solve the problem of camera cuts, composition, where the character should be at a particular time in the shot, where the camera angle should be at a particular time, how the camera cuts, where the camera moves after the shot is cut. So all these problems and many other problems, whatever they will come, you have to solve them at the blocking stage. Make it a point that you never ever try to work a small part a little more than the other. No, you will be wasting your time if you give any more time to any part of the shot after the point where you think that blocking is done. A golden rule is that you block whole of the animation to a similar level, and you keep blocking. Now this is another point that I want to make, is that when do you know that you have completely done blocking? When is blocking over actually? So blocking is, you have to block till that time when you think that a casual observer or any observer who doesn't know about the shot will come and be able to understand what is happening in your shot. Till you feel that that goal is not reached, that any person won't be able to come and understand what the shot is about, you keep on blocking. So, but when you think that any person will come and understand your shot, that is the point when you stop blocking. So now, because blocking means roughly and quickly representing the idea in the simplest possible manner so that you don't waste any time. So it also means that blocking depends on the complexity of the shot. Let's take two examples. First shot, let's say a person is just walking from one side of the room to the other side of the room. He's just walking. So for this kind of a shot, the blocking could just be that you give the first pose of the walk on this side and you give another pose on the other side of the shot of the room, and you just move the root controller in spline mode and he will go like that's it. So your blocking is over, because in that itself the meaning is clear as to what will be done in the shot. You don't need to do any more. You don't need to show the actual stage, because that is immaterial. That doesn't convey any more of the meaning that you already have by moving the character from this corner of the room to the other. Correct? Now whatever you do in the walk, all these things, they will come in the later stage. They are not a part of blocking, because your meaning of the shot is already understood, that the person is going to walk from here to here. You don't need to do any more. So your blocking for such a shot is over. Let's take a second scenario. Let's say there is a shot where our hero is standing on top of a water tank and he jumps from there and he lands in a Spider-Man pose, and then there is a close-up of his face and he turns his head up and looks at the person who is like coming forward, and we cut the camera and we show the other person who is coming towards him. So then he is coming forward, and then there is a camera cut again and we show both of them in a kind of a mid shot, and our hero grabs the collar of the other person and throws him. So if this is the shot, then let's see what blocking would be. So in such a shot, we will first of all show that what the pose would be. We will use all the controls from head to toe to show how the pose will be for our hero. He is standing on top of the water tank, how he is standing, we will show everything. Then we might show him how he is transitioning from that pose to the ground pose. Maybe he is somersaulting, so we will give a pose which defines that. If he is not somersaulting, maybe we will show a pose like this. He is just landing. I mean not landing. I mean in the air he is coming down. That air pose we will give. Then we will give the pose where he lands in that Spider-Man style. Then we will solve the problem of the camera cutting. Then we will turn to the other character, how he is approaching. So that pose we will give them. The general attitude we will show. Then again all those camera cuts will happen. Then we will show that person holding the collar of we will show before that our hero looking up and then holding the collar of that person and then throwing him. So all these poses have to be there in the blocking, and they have to be correctly done, not like blocking like collar, holding the collar like this and throwing like this. No, that is not the correct way. If your character is going to hold the collar like this, then you have to show through the poses that how it exactly would be. And then if he throws like this, you have to show all that. You cannot like be okay, he does like no, that is not blocking. Alright, so in this kind of a shot, definitely you will take more time to block. So now talking about problem solving, let's see what all the challenges are there in this shot. So first of all, there is the problem of staging. The camera, you have to solve that exactly at what point the camera has to be cut, how the camera should be. Then the composition, right? Then another important thing is the IK/FK switching in this shot. So for example, when the person is, let's say, in air, if he is somersaulting, then it is even more vital that your hands and your legs, that is your limbs, are in FK mode. Or if you want to do the parenting of IK to the shoulder, that is a perfectly viable option. But in general terms, if the person is in air or somersaulting, you would definitely want the limbs to rotate with the body, so that you don't have to spend more time, waste more time in animating just the hand movement. So with rotating the body itself, you will get the movement of the limbs. So definitely when the person is in air or somersaulting, you would want the character to have some sort of a FK style of limbs, right? But as soon as our character lands, on the ground, there is no way in the world that we would want the legs to be in FK, correct? We would always want the legs to be in IK, because it is like impossibly difficult to animate legs in FK when you are walking on the ground or jumping, correct? Jumping in the sense, from the ground to ground you are jumping, not like in the air. There you would want FK. So all these problems, like exactly at what point, what kind of switching you want. Let's say when maybe you are animating the arm in IK mode, which is parented to the shoulder. But let's say when he holds the collar of the person, maybe you want it to be in the world mode and parented to the collar of the other character, right? So all these switchings, how it will be happening, and most importantly that it will be happening. You will when you think about the shot, when you think about the blocking, you will automatically solve all these problems and make sure that you solve all the problems in the blocking stage. By doing this, you will be doing yourself a favor and you will be saving a lot of time later on. And the time that you save, you will be able to give on the shot later on. So now let me give you some tips to effective blocking. So number one, act out the scene yourself. Take reference of yourself and see reference from YouTube or other sources, and then study the reference. Knowing what you want in the shot is most important. If you are not clear about what you want in the shot, your blocking or your animation will never be very meaningful. So first of all, understand what you want to show in the shot. After that, you open the software. Another vital tip that I can give you is that in blocking stage, always work very cleanly. Don't key haphazardly in blocking. In blocking, all the main poses should be keyed using all the controls that you will need for the whole body at one place. There should not be any kind of offsetting of keys or any sort of hanky-panky thing. Don't do that in blocking stage. In blocking stage, always work most simply. Now, what I mean by not to offset and all these things is that, let's say I'm going to turn. I'm going to turn from this position to this position. So definitely I'm not, as a human being, I would not turn like this. We human beings don't turn like this. There is always an offset. Maybe the head will rotate first, or maybe the body will rotate first. It depends. So let's say my head rotates first, so it will be like this. So in blocking stage, if you have to make this transition pose as well, right? So you have to key every control at the right place. Don't key the body at one place and then just rotate the head and key only the head, and then go further in time and then rotate the body keeping the head still. Don't do that. In blocking, key all the controls at a particular place and make sure that each and every control is keyed all along the timeline wherever needed. And in blocking, always be very clean. Use the minimum number of keys to communicate the maximum amount of information that is needed. Now, once you reach the blocking stage according to you, don't go any further. Just show your animation to your other people, your colleagues or to your team leader or to the director. Because if you go any further in your blocking, you will just be most probably wasting your time, because it is quite possible and quite probable that, that your team leader or your director will tell you some changes. If they say small changes, then so it's fine. But if they say even little bigger changes, all your work in the subtleties maybe that you started to work on, that will all be wasted, because your animation, your pose itself is getting changed. So all the small things will definitely get wasted. So never go into the nitty-gritties in blocking stage. Always block the entire shot simply, cleanly. Like I said, key all the things at one point throughout the timeline, and then show it to your team leader, show it to your director, and once they approve that, then only go ahead. Okay? So if you work cleanly, the easier it will be for you to make those changes. So let's now see the blocking that I had done.
This morning, someone dodged a very important question. Who? Me. Linda asked who hired me. Who hired you? I do not know.
You can see that I have kept the reference here, and I use this ABX picker because in 2009 Maya this picker works. So this is my setup. I have a camera window, the short cam, and then I have this perspective here, and I have a graph editor here. Another thing that I want to show is that I use auto tangent by Mr. Comet. This is included in the Comet script. Though this is not needed in, I think, the later versions of Maya, which have auto tangent in them, but this has a feature by which I can control the softness of the tangent. So okay, so let me go through the blocking. So because of the constraint of time, I will show you only till 1/20th frame, that is 5 seconds of the shot that I have done, because the shot is quite long. It's around 500 frames long, so I won't show you all that. So these are the poses that I have made. Let me play it once. So this is my blocking. Now let me go through the poses one by one. Like you see in this reference, I walk here and then sit down. I walk to this chair and then sit down. But in my animation, you will find that I am not walking and coming, but starting from this position, starting from very near the chair. Actually, my initial plan was to walk and come. So I had kept my master controller here. And then what I had done, if you see in the channel box, that I have rotated it by minus, say, around 22 degrees. But I initially had planned that he would come from this position and then come and sit. But because the shot had gotten so long, so I decided to cut it. But then I realized that it was not looking that proper from this position. So what I did was, instead of having it straight, it was coming somewhere here. So then I decided to just use whatever posing I had done till that point, and from there adjust further the animation. So I had to rotate it by that minus 22 degrees. So this was an additional challenge that I faced, because now what was happening is that if I select my spine controls, you see there is an angle. It is actually going at an angle. It's not going straight. So what I want was that it should go like this. So this small angle change made a complex, increase the complexity of my animation for myself, because now I could not hold this control and just move it, but rather I had to eyeball it and rotate it for like this. Anyway, so these kind of things will happen. You cannot plan 100% of the things, but what I want to say is that if you plan everything properly, then you can reduce these kind of complexities as well, because animation as such is already quite complex. You don't need to make it more complex by software making it more complex, right? So try to plan things and keep it as simple as possible in the way of the software. Okay, so let me go through the poses one by one. So here also observe that the headphone and all I have not really polished right now or even proper right now, but I have actually solved the problem of this headphone sitting on the head. So at this stage I have the headphone properly set on his head and I left it at that stage. Now, because another reason why I didn't polish, I didn't take this further properly was that because I'm doing this animation just for myself, so I know everything about this shot. But had it been a shot which I'm doing in production environment, I would not have left it hanging like this. I would have made sure that it is more proper and that it is flowing with the hands and with the head in a more proper fashion. Okay, so let me go through the poses. So you see that I have actually deviated a lot from my reference. So first of all, because my chair was small and this chair that I took was big, so I had to change some of the posing. And so the way he sits on the chair and then this chair bounces, all these things obviously I had to add from my own side because it was not there in the reference. So I added them. So these small things you have to do yourself, and always be prepared for these kind of small challenges. So you see that there is some gaps between all the keys that I have put. That is because I don't want to do any more than what I have done at this stage. When I reach this stage of blocking, I realize that the idea is now clear. The idea is clear that okay, he will come and sit on the chair and then he will wear the headphone and then press the spacebar button of the keyboard and start the audio. So it was clear to me. So this was the end of blocking for me. I didn't go, for example, from this pose to this pose, I didn't do any other thing. You see there is a gap here. There is a key here and then the next key is here. So for this whole period I didn't do anything. I just let the animation and the animation key transition slowly to the next pose. I did nothing. So let me play it once again. So now what all things, some of you might be thinking that oh, this is quite a lot of animation for blocking. Yeah, I agree that you could do it more economically, but still I feel that for demonstration purpose, for me the maximum that I would go for a blocking, I should show you guys. So this is that example. I could definitely not keep, let's say, this pose. Maybe from this pose I could go directly to this pose and add this pose, which is kind of a transition in my next stages, not in the blocking. But I kept it because there is one thing that I have done here, and that is, let me show the manipulator here. So this head I have turned and gave it an offset. So from here you can see that the head is lagging. So this I wanted to keep in the blocking, so I kept it. So I have made this pose. Otherwise I would not have made this pose. So these kind of small things also, if possible, you can add in the blocking stage. Again, I would say that I had the advantage of being my own director here, but if I am in a production house, I would maybe keep it slightly more simple, because I don't know what they want ultimately from the shot. They might suggest small changes which I have to make, so it will be a waste of time. But this can be a part of blocking. That's what I wanted to show. So what I have not done in this blocking is that I have not worked on fingers a lot. I have just given the general poses of the fingers. At later stage, you will see in the final animation that I have worked on the fingers and all those things, which I have of course left in the blocking. You don't really need to go there that much. You could, but only for the main poses. In small details, you do not need to go because it will be a waste of time. So always remember that as soon as you solve all the problems, like I had solved the problems of how the character is going to sit, how the chair is going to bounce, the IK-FK switching also I have kind of solved here, though I was not totally happy, but then I didn't do too much of switching because then switching is also a headache, because after a point when you have to move all the animation, then certain things get really confusing if you have too much of switching. So I kept this hand world IK and this one IK parented to the shoulder. Another problem that I faced in this animation was that its elbows somehow, I didn't find that control in the rig. There is no control in the rig to keep these elbows locked. I know there are certain scripts perhaps which help you to do that, but I don't know of any such script currently. It's not there in my knowledge at least, to keep a certain part locked down. So I didn't go for all that. So it was a challenge, extra challenge that I faced for this shot. Because all along after this point, my character is placing his whole body rested on these two elbows. But I played with that with the camera angle, which of course you must have noticed in the animation. So I took a little bit close up and then I managed the elbows in other places where it was kind of visible and try to overcome that problem. So basically, this is the blocking. I will go once more little quickly through all the poses. So I have used all the controls and I have keyed all of them at all these places. Wherever you see a red tick, all the controllers of the character is keyed. The shoulders are keyed, the elbows, IK handles, the pole vectors, the head, neck, everything is keyed. The root of this character is also moving slightly and it is keyed. So this was my blocking.
So that's about it. If you like the video, do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and comment in the comment section and let me know if you have anything to say. See you in the next video.